Hello archers, it's Nocking here. Today we're looking at archery in narrowone. Narrowone is a fast-paced, free multiplayer archery game. It was released in 2021 by Pelican Party. It's available on Steam, but you can also play it through a browser, so it's great if you want quick archery gameplay anywhere, anytime. Set in a medieval style, narrowone looks almost a bit cartoonish at first glance, but it's actually very intense and much more in-depth once you play more. There is a whole competitive pro scene in the game with community-driven tournaments and an ELO rating system behind the scenes to rate the skill of each player at the end of every match. The main mode in the game is the classic capture the flag, where two teams spawn in their own bases. Each team needs to reach the enemy base, steal their flag and return it safely to their own base. All of this of course while getting shot from the whole enemy team and defending your own flag from being captured. There are also team deathmatch and free-for-all modes that happen randomly. In those two, the team or the player with the most kills wins the round. At the end of each round, depending on your performance, you get a number of coins which you can spend in the game on upgrades and cosmetics. There are different ways of playing. For example, some players focus on movement. They invest in being the fastest on the map, mastering fluid traversal, learning every pixel and shortcut of every level. They focus on stealing the enemy flag as quickly as possible, often even without shooting. You can also come across players only using the melee weapons because hey, why not bring a knife to a bullfight, right? The majority of players is as expected archers, and of course there is a mix of all of these playstyles and techniques. You can play however you like. There is also the option to squad up and play together as a team for those of you who actually have friends. narrowone currently features 18 unique maps spanned across the world in different biomes and teams. Each map has hidden traversal paths and shortcuts which a majority of the community is investing in finding out, optimizing and mastering. The game features character customization where you can pick different options for your hair, eyebrows, eyes, facial hair, tattoos and other accessories. All of these are unlockable with the in-game currency which you earn by playing. There are also over 300 different unlockable clothing items which are not only for looks but also have different stat upgrades. There are several stats in the game. Movement speed, how quickly your character moves, although this depends on the type of bow you're using. Health regen speed, how quickly your health starts to regenerate after receiving damage and the actual regeneration speed. Damage protection, reduces the incoming damage. Focus, how much and how quickly you can zoom when aiming. Bloodlust, you get a health bonus after each kill. Loading speed, how quickly you knock a new arrow on the bow. Attack strength, increases the outgoing damage. As you can guess, there is some level of build crafting depending on your playstyle, the bow and the gear you choose. However, you need to unlock each item by spending coins, so there is a bit of grind to the builds, but that makes them even more enjoyable. You can also save your different combinations of gear and weapons as presets to quickly swap between them. Since the game is focused on archery, there are no restrictions to any bow. There are 6 different bows in the game which define the different classes, although strictly speaking we have 3 bows and 3 crossbows. Each bow class has different handle and tip modifications. Each modification grants different upgrades, with some that increase several stats at once. And of course, the higher the upgrade, the more expensive it is. The first one is the Scout. It shoots 1 arrow by default, but if you hold down the fire button, it shoots 3 arrows in quick succession. It is the quickest of the bows, but also the weakest, mostly used at close range. It takes 2 full bursts to kill an enemy. The Scout has 22 handles and 21 tip options. The second one is the Assault Bow. This one shoots only 1 arrow at a time. It's a bit slower than the Scout but also does a bit more damage. It takes around 3 hits to kill an enemy. With the Assault Bow you can choose from 24 handles and 22 tips. The last bow is the Sharpshooter. This one is considered the sniper style bow. It resembles a long bow. It shoots slowly but packs a punch. It takes 2 hits to kill an enemy. It also enables you to zoom when aiming, hence the sniper title. It's heavy and makes you move slower than normal. The sharpshooter lets you choose between 24 handles and 20 tips. The fourth class is the runner. This is a small crossbow which automatically loads a single shot. It is the lightest weapon and enables players to move very fast, but has weak range and damage. It takes several hits to take down an enemy. The runner provides 18 handles and 25 tips to choose from. The next one is support. This is another crossbow that shoots 10 arrows quickly but has a long reload. Unfortunately, you cannot reload it until you shoot all 10 arrows. It takes around 6 hits to kill an enemy. It is also a bit heavy and affects the movement speed. There are 18 handles and 26 tips to modify it. The last one is the defender crossbow. It has high accuracy and damage but requires a short reload after each shot. It really slows you down while reloading, but it takes only 2 hits to take down an enemy. The defender has 17 different handles and 27 tips. There are 35 types of arrows in the game. They also provide different stat upgrades like increasing the attack strength and the loading speed, with some of them also having the bloodlust effect. The arrows mostly feel the same in terms of shooting, with one exception that some arrows have higher travel speed, so they feel a bit more snappy. There is also one additional effect present on some arrows, the option to stun an enemy. Upon hit, your enemy's movement is slowed down for a couple of seconds, making them an easy target. Depending on the bow type, there is a different amount of arrow drop-off, especially at longer ranges, so accounting for the drop-off is a big aspect of the gameplay, but it's really easy to get used to. There is also travel time, as you might have guessed, since I mentioned the perk that increases the travel speed. You need to take it into account, especially with the movement players and at longer ranges. In terms of arrow impact, there is a visual indicator, but given the simplistic graphics of the game, which I love by the way, it's nothing special. Basically, when you hit an enemy, their whole body becomes red for a second, which I would say it's not amongst the most immersive ways to simulate impact, but it's okay. There is also a sound cue, which honestly is the more favorable one. When you hit a headshot, you hear a distinct metal sound, and when you kill an enemy, a little skull shows on the screen as a kill confirmation. We don't really see our character's hands in narrowone, we only see the bow and the arrow. Once again, the common Mediterranean style of shooting is depicted, with the arrow on the left side of the bow. When the arrows are drawn, there is a distinctive sound of the string being pulled, which is nice. In terms of nocking, there is no animation, the arrows just appear on the bow out of nowhere. There is no shot cancelling mechanic in narrowone. Even if you switch to melee, the drawn arrow still gets fired. Similarly, there is no arrow retrieval, you have infinite amount of arrows. Since this is a game all about archery, the bows are absolutely viable, but I have to mention I have seen players that only use melee and still make it work. So in this game the question is, are other weapons viable? Narrowone is a fun archery sandbox. No loading screens, no cutscenes, no long matchmaking queues. There are always players in the game. It's probably the fastest and most convenient way to get into an archery fight without sacrificing the actual feeling of shooting. Even with the simplistic graphic style, it is very satisfying and rewarding. You can even play it as a warm-up aim training exercise like I sometimes do. It's free and available on any device with a browser, so with just a couple of clicks you can do archery on the fly. Now let's see some action in narrowone. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, stay on target and I'll catch you in the next one.